Hey there, welcome back to Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are making Singapore noodles. So grab your wok. There's a few ingredients which I've gotten ready earlier. Here's what we need. And then there's this for the top. It will serve 4. So come on in and I'll show you what we need. So first up, we need 200 grams of dried rice vermicelli noodles. So the good news is that is a 200 gram packet. Now you just cook them according to your packet. So with these ones that I've got here, we're going to place them in a boiling water for 2 minutes and then drain and rinse. So that we will do shortly. We also need 1 tablespoon of mild curry paste. I've gone with the yellow one. 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, 6 tablespoons of water. Just use cold water. Oh, it's in one of those anyway. That one there. 2 tablespoons of peanut oil. Half an onion thinly sliced. Now I had a red onion in the freezer, so I've used that one. So it is frozen, but the good thing about it being frozen was it was great to cut it because it came up nice and thin. 2 garlic cloves thinly sliced. They were also in the freezer. That is one of them. That one there. 85 grams of broccoli cut into small florets. Oh, that is that one there. So I just brought the smallest piece I could find and then flaked it all out. 85 grams of green beans cut into 2.5 centimeter pieces. I still had some in the freezer, so I went with those ones, which they're already cut up anyway. So perfect for this. 85 grams of pork fillet or chicken breast thinly sliced. Now I had some chicken mince in the freezer, so I thought I'm going to get it out of the freezer because I am trying to get everything out of the freezer so that I can defrost it before winter comes along. We're a long way off that, but still. So this is chicken mince, 85 grams. 85 grams of small cooked peeled prawns. Now I ended up, rather than buying prawns and like 85 grams is nothing, I decided to buy one of the 200 gram tins, and I'm just going to use all of those because when you use them, they're literally almost the size of like your fingernail. So there's going to be extra prawns in there. 55 grams of Chinese cabbage, which I've thinly shredded. Now with the leftover cabbage, I also had some red cabbage in the freezer, which I've had in there for a couple of months. So I'm going to I grabbed some carrots as well. So I'm going to shred it all up with the rest of the Chinese cabbage. And I'm going to make coleslaw, but that's a later date. So maybe I might put that on here. We'll see how we go with that one. 1/4 of a Thai chili, or to taste, de-seeded and thinly sliced. Now, where I work, we do sell Thai chilies, but I didn't want to buy a whole packet. So I've just gone with one of the normal red ones. Oh, it's in here. And I wasn't going to use 1/4, so I've just used all of it. Now, just be careful when you cut it. Don't touch the seeds. So I popped gloves on to do that. You don't want to touch those seeds. And then for the top, we need 2 spring onions, the green part only, which we've sliced. These have been in the freezer, so they're going to look a bit wilted. That's the spring onion. And then some coriander to go on the top. Well, I wasn't going to buy a whole bunch of coriander to put on top when I've got it in the freezer. So I will stir that through at the end. Anyway, so there's quite a few ingredients, but the good thing is it being a stir fry, it's in a wok. Having everything ready is the best thing ever because it makes it very quick. So first of all, pop your kettle on. We're going to put the noodles into soak. Okay, that 2 minutes will go pretty quickly. So while that's going on, We want to grab ourselves a small jug. And into the jug, we are going to add the curry paste, turmeric, and 4 tablespoons of the water. So that is that one. Did I? No, okay. I've just got to find my tablespoon back out. This is the annoying part with this. Okay. I've dyed my spoon yellow because of the paste. That's fine. It'll come out eventually. All right, so that is that. Now 4 tablespoons of water I'm going to pop in here because that will help deglaze that. So that will leave us 2 tablespoons of water. And then we want our turmeric. Okay, in goes that. So this is going to give us a very yellow colour. All right, our 2 minutes is up. So we're just going to drain those noodles off. Okay, give that a quick stir so we have a nice yellow liquid going on there. All right, let me just drain the noodles and I'll be back. Now it's time to get the wok on. I always spray it because it makes it easier to clean. So first of all, we're going to add our peanut oil, and then we're going to add our onion and our garlic. So the great thing with this dish is you only need very minimal things. So it's a good way to actually use up things that you may have floating around in the freezer or the pantry or the fridge. So I've got this very hot now, as you can hear by the sizzling. The onion and garlic. So normally we would not use red onion, but it's what was in the freezer. And I would have used the small onion rather than half of a large onion. So at least I'm getting this out of my freezer. And the garlic, I brought a punnet of peeled garlic and I've kept it down the bottom of the freezer, and that seems to be keeping quite well. So I've solved the problem of the garlic that goes off. Yay. Next up, in goes the broccoli and the beans. And then the remaining water. See how good it is to have everything all ready to go. Beautiful. All right, let's give that a stir. And that's what we should be looking like. Yum. Add the chicken or pork. Give that a fry. So the mince has defrosted now. Add the prawns, which, as I said, I've got too many, but it's only 115 grams more. If you've got another dish in mind, then good. Otherwise, I don't think it'll hurt to use more. Give that a stir. And then we want the cabbage to go in. Give it all a good stir around. Beautiful. Okay. Right, fry this for a couple more minutes until the meat is cooked through and the vegetables are tender. Scoop this out of the wok and keep warm. So we're just going to put it into the bowl that we had the noodles in because that will be warm. I forgot, add your chili. Oops. Don't forget the chili. If you don't like chili, don't put it in. So when it's looking like this and all the veggies are tender, we're going to scoop it out into the bowl and then we're going to be ready to add the noodles. Okay, so first of all, we're going to add the noodles. Give them a bit of a stir around. And then we want to add our curry paste mixture. And our shallots, and because of the coriander being in the freezer, we're going to put ours in at the same time. We want to try and start and separate these noodles as well. Have a look. So we're colouring the noodles now, but we want to separate them as well. When the noodles look that lovely yellowy colour, pop everything else back in. Give it a final stir and then we're ready to serve. And there we have it. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been Singapore noodles. I will catch you on the next one. Enjoy.